Javed Ansari is still with us from Lucknow. Javed, the BJP candidate from Rai Bareli is sounding extremely optimistic. He might not have a chance in Rai Bareli, but from where you are in Lucknow, for Rajnath Singh, perhaps he is the front runner. Is he not in the fight for Lucknow?
Well, it's no cakewalk for Mr. Rajnath Singh. It's difficult to predict elections, and I'm very cautious by nature. But it's by no means a cakewalk. He's locked in a battle with Rita Bahuguna Joshi of the Congress party. She's an MLA. She contested and lost the last elections. Mr. Rajnath Singh, in many ways, is trying to inherit the legacy of Mr. Vajpayee. Mr. Vajpayee won from here 4 times. He went on to become Prime Minister when he became an MP from Lucknow. But whether Mr. Rajnath Singh fills those last shoes or not is difficult to say. But he's having a tough time, and it's perhaps a testimony to the fact that he campaigned here for several days. He had to stay put here. He's facing the tag of an outsider. There's also this undercurrent of Mr. Rajnath Singh. There's a huge whisper campaign against him that he ensured that candidates of a particular community were sidelined, principally the Brahmins. The Brahmins have a large vote here, and substantial vote in Lucknow, and Rita Bahuguna and all the others, his opponents hope that they will swing to her side and that they will not vote against him. Whether that indeed does happen or not will only be known on the 16th of May, but certainly no cakewalk for Mr. Rajnath Singh here from Lucknow. No
cakewalk, Nalini Singh, and I also want to ask that I'm being mischievous at this time because there are many who are saying that perhaps if Rajnath Singh loses, it becomes much easier for Narendra Modi.
Well, Lucknow is one constituency that has always gone to the BJP, Vajpayee, Lalji Tandon. Now, at this time, he's mentioning the Brahmin vote. You know, amazingly, the Congress has put up Rita Bahuguna Joshi. The BSP and the SP also have Brahmin candidates. So I'm not sure what is exactly going on, whether they're trying to split the Brahmin votes. Also, Rita Bahuguna Joshi is depending on the Uttarakhandi votes, you know, the people from Uttarakhand. But Satpal Maharaj, of the prominent leader of the Congress, migrated to the BJP recently. So I think that when he says it's a tight cakewalk, is probably quite correct. I just want to go back 1 second to this symbolism of Narendra Modi holding the lotus. You know, Aam Aadmi Party wears the cap that says Aam Aadmi Party all the time. So how are we going to actually reconcile these things? The Congress spokesperson who was here just a while ago was wearing just the saffron color of the BJP. So I think we may be giving too much importance to
but that is a party symbol and holding that in your hand.
But then if you're wearing the Aam Aadmi Party, this is the cap.
But that's not the party symbol.
What is the party symbol of the Aam Aadmi Party if not that topi? Everybody recognizes that. Now, if you're getting technical, that's another matter. But I think, look at the fact that we might be getting hyper by now. Look at the real issues. And I think that that lady from TMC from Rai Bareli actually pointed out all the issues. That they were water, power, roads, jobs, loans, etc. I think these are the things that we might also be wanting to concentrate on.
Okay, but the politicians are not. As we were talking to Professor Shiv Vishwanath, in this phase they're not talking about the real issues. In this phase it has become about these monumental personalities and their monumental egos, one would say.
And the monumental threats to them.
The monumental threats to them. But I want to ask you very quickly, both of you, starting with you, Professor, which is the keenest contest in this entire phase?
UP or all over?
All over.
I think Jaitley versus Amrinder. I think that's the contest which has all the vitriol, all the intensity, and yet a deep sense that not everything is being revealed. It seems to be petty, it seems to be ruthless, and to a certain extent you're seeing a different side of both people.
Okay.
For me it is Madhepura, Sharad Yadav, in Madhepura in Bihar, whose opponent is Pappu Yadav, who spent so many years in Tihar jail, and he is the RJD Congress candidate. And I think that he is giving sleepless nights to Sharad Yadav, to the extent that Nitish Kumar has had to spend 10 days continuously in that constituency.
All right.
I think that's very, very keen.
Okay.